We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to the conversation. This is Midlife Crisis Activities. This is our lifestyles and pop culture webcast, our daily shout out to the world. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, and over there is my very vivacious producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to lend our voices to the noise from a multi-generational perspective to help explain everything that's right and wrong in this world. A good day to you, Veronica. Topic for the day is something that used to be my favorite subject. Now, not so much. Go ahead. Get us started.
So Patrick likes to eat a lot. And when I said a lot, it doesn't mean that it's like healthy food. It's like mostly sweets and stuff that are not good for his health, right? So I constantly have to hide a lot of things from the kitchen. And that's kind of annoying sometimes, you know, because I want him
We do play a little game at night, don't we?
I want him to be healthy. And every time you always do the same thing. You go downstairs, you eat, and then I'm like, okay. Get fat.
And you know what? It's really not that I'm excessive about it, but it's the snacking that really kills my goals, right? I'm trying to, of course, lean out a little bit, get a little bit more healthy, as you say, and fit, right? And lose the gullet that's so hard to do. And the problem is sugar. Processed sugar is the devil's food and has definitely made it very difficult for me to reach my goals. And you're right, it is the midnight snackings that have been always the hardest part of the regimen, of the routine. That's been tough for me to kind of stick to, especially because you bring home Oreos.
It's amazing.
She brings home Fig Newtons. She brings home frozen, well, I guess frozen pizza is not part of it, but still, candies? You bring home candies.
I mean, yes, but...
You don't make it easy on me by any means, do you?
Well, the thing is that I control myself, and I have been known for having control over either food, boyfriends, husbands, whatever that is. So
Self-control.
So if I bring Oreos, right? So I know that I'm going to eat maybe one Oreo per night, or maybe two, depending on how I feel. But I know that they're going to be there. The problem with Patrick is that I bring Oreos and then he literally finished them in like 2 days. And I'm like, and then
guilty as charged.
And then you know what's worse?
And it's the family size pack too. We're not talking the normal quantity here. We're talking the extra. What is it? 48 cookies. Don't correct me. Just go with it.
The worst thing is that when I feel like having an Oreo, we don't have anymore. So I get so angry because I know that we're supposed to have at least like 30 Oreos per set, and then there's nothing. So that's one of the negative things about being married to Patrick, because he literally eats everything. And it's not because he's hungry. It's not because he's actually craving something. It's just because he's awake most of the night. So
you're calling me an emotional eater.
Yes, that's what he is.
So I eat because I'm bored and it feels good as I'm watching my shows at night. I would have to agree with that. I mean, because that's definitely what you end up doing. You come downstairs, you catch me in mid-eating as you see the TV light bouncing off my face. I mean, I know that that's the scene of the crime every time. Funny
quick story. So it was one time that Patrick was in the couch. It was like, I don't know, like 2 a.m. And I came down, and then he was literally with his eyes closed. Like eyes closed. He was chewing something. He was eating something. And I'm like, who are you? What type of person are you? Like
I'm glad you woke me up, because I could have had a choking incident there from what you're describing, and I've been known to kind of doze off in mid-bite and mid-watching a movie.
I think one of the benefits of you being married to me is that I don't like cooking, and to be honest, and I know this is shameful, I don't know how to cook that well, as my mom will agree. Otherwise, you will be so chubby, and probably myself too, because Latinas, we like... Well, most of Latinas, I'm not in that particular line, but tortillas, rice, beans, and imagine how
a lot of carbs.
Imagine how will you be if I was the one cooking the whole time?
Yeah, there's no kidding. You know, just the general conversation about diet has evolved over the last couple of years, especially for me. My metabolism, as I always like to say, used to be my best friend and is now my worst enemy. Yeah. Remember the story I used to tell you back in college with my buddy Dave? We'd walk across the street to the subway at USC, and we would get 2 footlongs, a Coke, chips. I'd eat it and would be mad at myself for not buying the extra chocolate chip cookie because I still had extra room. That's how fast my metabolism was running, like a Porsche. Now,
Like a Honda?
more like a Kia.
Like a Kia.
From 2006. Not even the nice newer Kias. A much slower process now, right? And I can feel it. I feel it in sugar crashes, right? Going to a dinner and a movie for me stopped being a thing a decade ago, because unless I wanted to just truly take a nap in that dark, comfortable theater, there was no point in me trying to catch a flick after eating a big meal.
Last story, because I do have a lot. So one time I got like a couple of months ago, I brought Oreos, and I was so angry that he was gonna eat them, so I put it on the oven, and he was gonna do pizza, so he pre-did the oven.
Right, I preheated the oven, not realizing that you had hid the Oreos inside the oven. I didn't realize until 4 minutes later when the oven beeped saying it was ready, and opened it up and realized there was a half-cooked package of Oreos sitting there in the oven. I remember
Last story. So another time where now the kitchen is like, I don't see more places to hide things, right? So I
ran out of hiding places.
Yeah, so I come to either the living room or whatever place I can find, and then I one time forgot that I hidden Oreos under the couch, and I know that's sad, but I did, and I found it like while I was cleaning.
Oh, how many weeks or months later?
Like a month.
Oh yeah.
So they were not bad, but I mean, I'm like, why am I doing this? And that's because of him, that he doesn't control himself.
Can you imagine if we did have one of those cameras up, like the pantry guard that we had joked about? If we had one of those cameras just to watch me in the middle of the night, just looking through our kitchen cabinets and drawers looking for cookies. Can you imagine?
Gosh. Well, let us know, guys, if you have a husband or a wife that does the same thing that
That's
Patrick
a cookie
does.
monster.
Yeah, basically.
That has a sweet tooth, and you basically have to play this game of hide and seek with all of the sweets. Guys.
It's hard. It's hard.
Well, final note on my end. On the diet side, too, routine is such a big part of it, right? If we stick to a routine, it makes things a whole lot easier, especially on the diet side, including eating a breakfast.
Yep.
If we eat a good breakfast, not something heavy, but something like oatmeal and fruit that really gets the day started right for me, and I'm less likely to break down and have one of those emotional eating fits that apparently I'm so popular for, so well known for. Guys, don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth of how a power couple makes it work on a daily basis, but lend your voices to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what comes your way today, no matter what challenges or obstacles that you may face, you just need to remember one thing. Give them hell. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.